Hi, it's Sarah with House Copper, and today is going to be a wiring day, sort of. I'm going to use the wiring machine, but I'm also going to show you how to put a wire on the top of anything with nothing but another wire. It's kind of a trick that I learned when I was with Bob, when I apprenticed with Bob. I still do it when I go visit him. He still uses it, but it assists the wiring machine, because the wiring machines tend to, I don't want to say crush the metal, but sometimes they give you a shape that you don't like and you want to get the material turned over even more than the machine will allow you. So there's still like half handwork that doesn't do all the work for you. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'm going to do it like how to make the wire jig essentially, and then we'll use it, and then and that'll be it. It's kind of just like a mini tutorial for making a hone jig. To take a wire for a piece. So first here is, we're going to use the wiring machine, and I'm going to make sure it's not. So this is just, it's wiring. It's your wiring machine, or I'm sorry, your turning machine. But what I'm essentially doing is I'm turning the metal around in order for it to take a wire before I use the wiring machine. I keep, if you have one of these at home, I keep the metal touching the backstop at all times. I have the body itself staying at a 45 or 90 degree angle, 90, not 45. I know math, not. And I'm just slowly making that curve nice and deep. And part of why we do we cut pieces when we prep is because you don't want to have this interface go over a crimp seam. This is a lap seam, so it's okay. But if you have a 3 thick, you'll wreck your gears. It'll be too much pressure. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for a nice shape here. But now if you wanted to put a wire and put this material down around that wire and trap that wire inside that groove you just made, you still have the material. It's still almost straight up, and it's really hard to hammer that close, because you do need to hammer that close before you wire it in the wiring machine. So this next part is the part I want to show you. If you can figure out if you want to use a burring machine, or because it's all you have, or you have a what's this word? I know this machine, a beading machine, and you have only a single bead or something. However you're getting this bead in here, you're gonna want to turn this top lip more 90 degrees to the body, and that's what we're gonna do using this wire over here. Get it? So Bob has a whole bunch of these in multiple diameters, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to create something round that can be used to be support in that groove you made while you hammer stuff down. So there we go. Obviously the more perfect. Nope. So see how I now have this fits perfectly in there. And now if I want, I can actually bend like right here. We're gonna go like this. I know this feels silly, but I'm gonna actually bend the opposite. I'm making handles. So come on, be stronger than the wire, Sarah. And you're creating, I know this seems silly, but I promise you, I've done this, I've used these at Bob's so often. And what you're doing is you squeeze it. Now see, I did make it too long. You really don't need handles this long, but you need a place to hold it and to start bringing this over. For me to bring this down, if I don't want to use the anvil, and it actually allows the curvature to be there. The anvil, because it's like a 90 degrees, if I were to hammer this 90 degrees, this top lip here over the anvil, it would actually create almost like an L shape, and you're going to be putting a wire in, which is a C shape. So it helps to have this wire as your support. So ideally you don't let it fall out. So as you can see, it's holding that round shape in there. And what I will do after this is I will put it back over the turning machine just to help it, like just to kind of do that again. And then I'll show you another fun thing that you can do with this. If your piece isn't totally round, you can actually put it over a stake. And you can force it to be round again by gently hitting the wire you made, and it kind of forces it into that groove again. And I'm just going to show you. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make that 90-degree curve without crushing the bead. That's why the wire's in there. You don't want to crush that bead. And you just keep going until the whole thing is at 90 degrees. All right, so we used that, and then I ran it through the turning machine once more just to ensure that everything is uniform from my hammering. And then if there's any like little wobblies on the end you don't like, that is when you can put it over the anvil. That's when you can come over here and be like, oh, this looks like it's sticking up just a little bit and I don't like it. You know, you can come over here and just right on the edge, you know, if you want, but don't flatten that bead that you've made. And then that's when you can come in here and you can slip, here, we'll come over here. You can slip your wire right snug in that little cradle you've made, and then you start your whole process of hammering the metal over and using the wiring machine, and you've got a finished lip. So that's a whole, you know, separate process. I think I've done it on other videos, but I just wanted to show you the whole way that you can working you know, a beaded top, possibly even without using a turning machine. So that's it. That's the video. If you have any thoughts or questions or comments, or maybe some cool jig ideas and fixture ideas, please share them. This is where we share all this fun stuff. As I was reminded this past weekend, like, there's really nobody doing this on, you know, YouTube and Access. So I'm happy to be able to be the sounding place for all of that. But please, you know, like, share, subscribe, and go to Facebook and Instagram to, you know, keep tabs on all the extra stuff I do that I don't show in the videos, or pick up Copper Iron and Clay wherever books are sold. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time.